Welcome to A Minute for God.
We need to understand that Romans chapter 12 verse 1 must be linked to all that comes before it, and it cannot be fully understood unless the verses that come after it are included. Friends, if you are serious about knowing God's will, then you can't say no to God's will. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 17 tells it like it is with these words: "Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is." And in order to know God's will, Romans chapter 12 teaches that there are at least some conditions that have to be met. Here's the first condition: we need to be saved. Verse 1 says, "Therefore, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to God because of all he has done for you." Now, the Apostle Paul could have used a command here. However, instead he makes an appeal. The Greek word used here for the phrase, "I plead with you," is the word parakaleo, which means to call near and to invite. And notice that Paul refers to his listeners as dear brothers and sisters, indicating his affection for them as members of God's family. The baseline condition for knowing God's will is belief. So the question becomes, are you saved? Because until you are, you won't be in a position to know God's will. In John chapter 10, verse 43, Jesus proclaims this: "The sheep recognize his voice and come to him." Those who are in relationship with the shepherd have the ability to follow because they are tuned in to the shepherd's voice. And the only way you're going to be able to know the will of the shepherd is by being part of his flock.